I don't think there is a better place to be at the end of January in real life than Daytona for the 24 hours by Rolex. Welcome back on iKeysRacing. My steering wheel is already overexcited even without using my hands, and welcome back on iKeysRacing on the Daytona International Speedway, the best place in the world together with Le Mans, I think, the Circuit de la Sarthe, and together with Sebring for the 12 hours. Why Daytona? Well, there are some tracks that unluckily are not working anymore within GTR2 and within the functioning of my new HP Victus 15L, and so I had to rearrange something, and rearranging something, especially thinking about the period where we are, in my opinion, was more than great to get into the special place for January, that is, as said, the Daytona International Speedway for the 24 hours Rolex. But because the theme of our appointment is a sports car 100 minutes, so just 1 hour and 40 minutes, I decided that would have been anyway nice to actually have 100 minutes compressing the real 1440 minutes duration of the race. So 24 hours, 60 times more, or 60 minutes, 24 times more, gives a figure of 1400 minutes stretched into 100 minutes for the theme, all happening with a time factor of 14.4 times more. So each minute is like more or less a quarter of hour, and in 100 minutes we get up to the real happening of the 24 hours race. Now, especially for this theme, there are obviously some cars that we collected, if you remember, since the beginning all together. So meaning that, for example, the McLaren GTR F1 never raced here, as well as the Porsche 911 GT1, the Mercedes CLK GT1, the Nissan R390, and blah 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 blah. But because here, due to the organization between IMSA, FIA, ASSC, here raced just the GT2 and World Sports Car vehicles, together with the beginning of the LMP1 class. So, by the way, in this theme we discover US soil with the combination of European and American race cars. That's it. So let's have a look to the timing for today. Once more, welcome back on iKeysRacing, and thank you for your likes, subscriptions and comments that I always read as soon as I can with more than personal pleasure. It's time to go on track, more or less in the right period before the real Rolex 24 Hours 2026 edition. Let's go. Okay, I let run everybody during qualifying session number 1 with a flooded racetrack and conditions that were terrible at the beginning, then becoming a bit more affordable later in the session. Timing are around 150, credible. Let's go to qualify 2 just to understand if there will be the sun. No, it will be anyway flooded. So I was hoping for a qualify 2 with a different set of lap times. Originally they ran around 141-ish for each lap on a dry surface. So I think that even if we let allow me to do this, because the conditions are these, so thunderstorms, and the forecast is for thunderstorms. The track is flooded. I just load the car setup as it is. That is the one you can see here, and I put a soft wet compound for a few laps, 6 coverage with 35 liters with a 2 times factor tire wearing and fuel usage. The rest of the car setup is as it is. I mean, you can see and try at home if you like. The only particular thing that always happens within an oval with corners with a lot of banking is, at least from my opinion, put a bit harder the internal side and a bit softer the external side. In this case I haven't played so much, just 2 or 3 notches between left and right, but overall for GTR2 and Power and Glory and GT Legends and GTR1 I always try to hammer the front end and leave as soft as possible the rear end. And so on a rainy qualification session, at least I can show you the car that we are going to drive today because you voted. So thank you very much for voting the Courage C51, a car that to me is absolutely nice to drive, very easy in some way. Unluckily I'm not for sure at the level required to race a beast like this. Great history for a production engine by Peugeot, 3.2 liters V6 turbocharged, that powered many Courages and Pescarolos in the years to come, back in end of 1990s, 2000s and so on. You voted for this. I'm more than happy to drive a beast like this, and let's see what I can actually catch with an LMP1 classified car, but respecting the WSC flat floor type of technology, with just a diffuser at the end as said production engine. The rest was absolutely great and special, I think, from France Courage vehicle. Let's go on track and let's try to qualify the beauty of today. And thank you again for voting. Okay, 57 minutes to go. We must also use the headlights. Speed limiter to 70 something. There was a penalty trying to come out. Instead I did the Italian, cutting the actual race line. Oh, it's very floated indeed. Nice. This is for iKeysRacing bloopers. I've not experienced the rain in Daytona when I've been there as a tourist in 2023 for the first year of the GTP.
The yellow flag in sector 2. Yellow flag in sector 2.
Of the new class. But it's crazy when you think about running for 24 hours maybe.
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
On a 3 oval. Oops. Plus all the issues of a 3 oval car setup. Also for the infield area that we are approaching.
The yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Now, driving, the art of driving with the rain is stay out or far as much as possible from areas where
the yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
where the rubber has been layered lap by lap, because it becomes very slippery. And also you should stay out from where patches of water, I don't know how to call them, ponds, anyway, mass of water tend to collect together. Now let's do a couple of laps, whatever the qualification will be. Because I'm running with a dry setup for the maximum top speed, given that the car has normal production V6 Peugeot engine, 3.2 liters. That lacks a bit of power. Bang. Okay, maybe we can do something else, and something else is like the art of softening everything, at least a bit, one notch, and a lot at the front to have a bit of grip. Yeah, should be okay. And also from a anti-roll bar point of view, maybe we can try also to detach the front anti-roll bar, but I don't think will be possible. Yes, let's try. And also increase the differential lock to spin less. As said, the car for the WSC World Sports Car Championship set of rules was mandatory to have production engine. The only, how to call it, exception has been made for Ferrari, because actually the 333 SP had a V12 engine from 3.5 up to 4 liters, but was an F1 engine, and Americans were rightly not so keen to accept it as a production engine back in the mid-90s. Who touched me? A Mercedes. Anything broken? Just aerodynamics? Okay. So the 150 of Schneider Weber, currently on pole position, would have been a 141.39 on a dry surface, if not a 135. Taking it very easy, so also a GT2 is passing. So definitely a great car indeed, the Pescarolo C52, an evolution from the C41 base, passed in between with the C51.
The yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
The turbo engine was absolutely a beast to be harnessed. Unluckily, Courage and Pescarolo team had to wait until the Model C60 to improve their performances, but so Courage was not someone not capable to
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
actually build the race cars, but obviously
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
okay, because the forecast is anyway for less rain, I wait a couple of minutes just to have a more precise particular view about it. Maybe there will be less water on track. It's useless to try so hard when the weather is against you. We are qualified, I mean, in a bad position, but let's see just if the rain will respect the forecast, having less water on track, but it remains flooded, so I go up to 15 minutes and then more than softer as before compared to a few minutes ago type of setup. A couple of laps and let's see what comes out. Fine, 15 minutes, so I go with this setup. Is like before, just this figure, so still harder on the left side than the right side, but especially at the front is becoming something more predictable maybe. And from the original 166 I've tried to detach entirely the anti-roll bar. I would go down to 80, 86. Let's try. Because for the way it is set up the car, obviously with similar to IndyCar and NASCAR car setup, the car tends to turn left because of the free oval. So sometimes I forget to counter steer the tendency to go left, especially while braking. Another thing is you can't smash the throttle using all the revs, especially up to the fourth gear. The force feedback gives you immediately the sensation of the feeling of spinning, of losing the rear. So I'm not an expert on about driving on a wet surface. But at least the principles are more or less clear in my head. Let's try to apply them. Despite being soft, the compound of monsoon tires, they do not kick in enough temperature to be green on the top left corner and so to give you grip. Oh, very, very, very demanding, but really when you nail the lap, it becomes absolutely a pleasure. So see you in the next lap. Okay, I don't think to be able to push more than this. 158.4 personal best, but obviously it's a P34 in between. I think also GT2 cars and a lot of other slower cars usually on a dry surface. So the aim will be, knowing that it's impossible to win this race with this car, I will try to stay out from troubles, hope for a dry surface, be constant, and just do my job together with you. So let's accelerate also the final part of the qualification. The track remained flooded anyway, and Tom Christensen scoring for an LMP1 BMW developed by Williams with the German V12 engine at the back, 148.3. Then the two Mercedes CLK, Schneider Weber, Bushu, Zonta, Michele Alboreto, Audi R8R, Patrese Suzuki Van de Pole, Nissan R390, Frank Biela Audi R8R, Alsen, Müller will be, I suppose, Wallach Porsche 911, Laurent Aiello Porsche 911 GT1, Brandel Müller Taylor GT1 Nissan R390, Stefan Johansson with the third LMP1 Rainer 2KQ classified. Let me see if the other Courages have scored something. Yes, as 158, and the others? Sorry, but the other Courage, Nissan, blah blah blah. Ah, they didn't score a lap time, so I don't have even the benchmark. So I'm lost completely in my world today. Wish me luck, because I don't know what is going to happen. And for the books, just a 1 hour and 40 minutes race, so 100% already changed within the GDB file of the racetrack. We started 13, more or less the real start is 13:40, but it's not possible here. Rolling start, 45 opponents, 100% strength and clean attitude, especially when they are breaking into your back. That's it. The circuit has seen, the Courage C52 as well already seen. Let's continue, and good luck to me and to us for today's episode. Okay, so at least conditions for the Sunday are 20 degrees between air and ambient, so at least we will start with a dry setup, and the strategy will be to, yes, cover 90 minutes with 2 stops. We will have to save, I think, a bit of fuel indeed, and okay, I accept it as it is. We resave it as a dry car setup. I've not seen the... No, maybe will be better with hard compound, because we will have to last at least, sorry, a couple of laps. So we continue to race. Fine, P46, and let's start. Reshuffled as always, starting grid. Let's have a look to all the cars mixed up, and luckily on some tracks the bug of GTR2 curves, sometimes yes, sometimes not. And also it's nice because being here, given that the first 24 hours of Daytona was raced in 1966, this year we are celebrating the 60th Daytona, even if, I mean, sorry, the race of the 60 years. If it is the 60th, I'm not sure. I will publish a couple of subtitles and written confirmed informations about it, but nice anyway, indeed. So happy, because I've been lucky enough to be there in 2023, as you can see from the raw footage on iKeysRacing, but also after 60 years is more than beautiful to still have this race, and having it combined with the sports car 100 minutes, just as a playable attitude about our theme. Fine. So yes, we start dead last, and for a bug the green flag can be given at any moment, unfortunately. Yes. So yes, it's race day. Let's be calm and let's stay out from troubles. The reshuffle will help a lot also from a final classification, because the time lost by many GT1 cars and LMP1 and U.S.A. Sorry, you see this? Come on. Touched by Matthews Johansson equipe with the Reynard. Oof. There's someone on the left side, the other Reynard, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Okay, now all the slipstream, wow, will help to at least save a bit of fuel. There was some problem here, sorry. Someone pitting? No, just different lines. Again, Stefan Johansson with the Reynard. We are approaching some mixed GT1 WSC. No! Stupid Mark, I was watching the others to get my braking point. I have understood that. It's time to stretch muscles and pass and go away, because here nobody will gift anything. I forgot to say that I'm using a sequential gear shift. If I did say it already, sorry, my apologies. The sixth gear is like for Le Mans, long straights and saving as much as possible high revs. Bang. Ooh, the Porsche 911. An easy pass on a Saline. Did we break a bit of aero? Yes, 6.7 seconds, top left corner, seconds added when we will stop the first time. That's a P35 following Patricio Suzuki with the Nissan R390. We are a bit quicker. I have downloaded as much as possible wings and splitter for having more possibilities of passes, and also Mistakes here and there, already losing too much time. Oh, Marco. With already 2 mistakes on a 100-minute race is quite a mess. Sorry, my apologies. But the mix of different cars obviously tends to again here. Good, we recovered some space lost with the group. On top of everything, the great Tom Christensen with the BMW V12 designed by Williams, actually running first and dominating the race. Indeed, this will be a mess. Because the GT2s will be sort of moving the chicanes. Oh, they are bloody fast, or I am bloody slow. Now let's try to drive as much as possible first stint. Every time you use the sequential gear shift, obviously you lose a bit of, let me call it, understanding of the behavior of your car, because you translate the feeling between 2 hands down to 1. Too wide, and Holy Khan with the Ferrari is back. Maybe have a bit of downforce more while cornering, because the Courage C52 is anyway quite a great race car, more modern than the Ferrari 333 SP. The only thing that can be said as a downside, no, as a cons, a set of cons for the Courage C52 is the lack of power. Peugeot V6 turbo engine was a real production engine, like was for a set of rules about W.S.C. World Sports Car category. and Mr. Matthews is winning this duel, not for long. And again Müller-Wallach at the back with the Porsche 911 GT1. Let's try to pass both here. Wow, oh sorry, my fault. A beautiful duel resolved in a stupid way by an Italian lemon. Added 7.7 seconds to what is the time required to repair the damages. 6 laps done. The lights are starting to go down, passed outside by Jan Lammers with a Lola. What a giant Jan Lammers. And what a lemon Marco Lazzari of iKeysRacing. You may hear the whistle of blue. P21, someone pitted, good. The night is approaching. The beauty of Daytona, Le Mans and Sebring is this changeable light conditions. Between sunset and sunrise, I don't know what I prefer. Maybe the sunset. I was saying 7 laps down. Now we have to pass O'Rourke with the McLaren GTR F1. The top speed is not so high for the Courage with a tiny 3 liters .2 Peugeot production, and they brake much more deeper also than myself. No problem, we'll try to pass them later. The grip is going away already, at least with the front end. As I was saying, maybe yes, I do prefer the sunset because the night is arriving, and to me is almost a magic type of moment for each day, not only when I race virtually. Vice versa, the sunrise makes me feel almost something apocalyptic because of the endurance attitude of drivers resisting so many hours. Oh, what a stupid move, sorry. I destroyed the race of the McLaren also, and I've completed lost. The sense of the measure. So 9.3 seconds added to the next pit stop to repair the car. Will be time also to, yes, use the headlights sooner or later. Front end gone completely. So you have to adapt to the car you have in your hands. The great Peugeot 3.2 liters turbo is giving enough horsepower enough power to battle, but it is not a winning car, this one. Indeed, not today.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Still many crashes, given how many times the engineer comes to our onboard radio. Now we pass the Lister of Geoff Lees and Tiffany Dell. We have more acceleration, similar braking action. While we get a P16, sixth gear, very long, like for the Hunadier of Le Mans, to save a bit of revs and fuel, some pitting. Now the next P8 car, Geoff Lees and Olofsson, is not the Marcos just passed, it's not the Dodge Viper orange colored in front. Remember which car is Geoff Lees and Olofsson, but at least while the moon is rising, we finally have, while occupying the P9, a bit of breath, so we can start to think that in 5 laps we will finish the fuel, fully loaded at the beginning. Fake P6 position, now some cars pitting, we should become P2 while we overlap again the Dodge Viper that maybe pitted before. grip is gone, I tell you. Zonta is the Mercedes CLK now leading the race so far, after the initial stint of Christensen at the top. There's a car quicker than us, the Nissan R391. We let them go, we are not racing directly, as well as with the Riley and Scott. At this moment they are quicker than us. Everybody with lights turned on now. Night is approaching. Every minute is 14 minutes. Every real minute is 14 minutes simulated. They break so deep compared to myself.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
3 laps of fuel in the tank. The mid position for the classification. This is Christensen that wanted to pass. Thank you very much, Tom. I thought I had the privilege of the racing line. Maybe I was wrong. Now how many seconds added? 10.3. They were so quick with fresh tires. I was hoping to keep the leadership before the pit, but I was too optimistic. Now there is also Rick Van de Pole with the Ferrari, I suppose, behind. Will pass us very quickly, I fear. I will give the space on the right because AI sometimes tends to kill you. Eric Van de Pole with the Cadillac, LMP1. The dark V8 sound is one of the most beautiful.
The yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh, the front end, guys.
The yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
So 2 costly mistakes at the beginning of the race. Pushed out by Tom Christensen, 9 times Le Mans winner, world champion for the WEC, 2 times if I'm not wrong, and won also Sebring, so 2 times, 3.
The yellow flag in sector 3.
So yes, it's time to pit. Oh, almost lost. Touched also by the McLaren. I suppose that is giving me back the punch had before. In the meantime, Christensen, Alboreto all stopped for another stop. Who knows if for a touch, a crash or whatever, so we went back. Yes, it's vibrating like hell, the car. And is also she is behaving slippering here and there. Now we enter like Max Papis in 95, like if it was a quali lap. So yes, we repair, we do everything we can, another 90 liters for 17 laps, and let's see what happens. I'm checking just that the computer is recording with the right style, yes.
Underway. Hold for go signal.
All clear. Go, go, go. Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
Fine. How many minutes elapsed?
The yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
So, 30 minutes elapsed. We covered enough. Down to P16 that I think today finishing in the top 15, top 10 will be almost a miracle. Trying to avoid a fourth pit stop. Helps to change gear a bit earlier than later, save a bit of revs. I will keep also the second gear coming out from the international or horseshoe and not only. Because saving one stop would mean to save 60 seconds at least.
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
Driving with senses. look, you hear, you listen, you feel. I don't know the position of the Audi, but I felt it was much quicker than us, so I do want to avoid stupid loss of time like I did with Tom Christensen when I was ready to pass. Okay, also Frank Bila passed in 40 minutes. We have a fake P11, I don't know how much real. The understeer starts to appear. Sorry, I mismatched the overlapping action of the Lola in front. That is, sorry, Stefan Johansson. It was not overlapping also, it was just quite far from our position, but he is racing, don't ask me why. Okay, very happy to see ourselves back in P1 after the others are pitting, so at least we are in the lead lap. Nothing that will last after the next pit stop. I don't do 2 times in a row the same mistake, so Tom Christensen overlapped the WR yellow colored just seen, plus passed us for P1, so it's what may happen at the end of this stint, sorry, before the next one. Quicker cars with fresh tires passing easily. I do not see all the others. I will cut internally just to be sure to avoid any push from the back. Okay, maybe they pitted. selector and with fresh tires WR Peugeot is winning easily over a heavier, despite more powerful Courage C52 without any more grip. But we go on with our strategy. If we can stand this pace, running almost 2 minutes per lap, with 5 laps to go in the tank, would mean to have 10 minutes still on track, and then refuel when 30 minutes to the end will be the last stint to cover. Not just this, I forgot to say that Daytona 24 hours by Rolex is the type of race mainly raced by night, given that in January in Florida, wait a second, there's already a pleasant weather. But daylight lasts much less, like in every winter environment, if you don't live in the north of Europe or north of Canada or north of Russia. Next client will be Brandel Müller with the Nissan. That will pass us easily very soon. Struggling Porsche 911 off. It's the 25, I don't remember the drivers. Again P1 because Tom Christensen stopped once more. But at the back there are Brandel Müller with the Nissan 390 that I let go because I don't trust the way AI would brake here, collecting us maybe without being guilty, but just for the fact of being in the middle of the road, of the racing line. Yes, it's time to stop. I will book the last, I hope, refueling after crossing the start-finish line. Tires could afford maybe 4 or 5 laps more, but the load of fuel is not deep enough.
The yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Wow, there is a... Nice! Come on! There is a Viper. Yes, I can maybe push the Dodge Viper outside the pit. Come on! You are occupying a place that is not yours. Sometimes GTR2 gives some funny things here and there to understand. Yes, we repair and we go to the end. No more fuel than this. A lot of smoke. Maybe we will have also to put the reverse gear and get rid of this abusive driver. Actually, okay, maybe they solved the thing, or maybe they were retired and they were occupying the pit spot. Nice. I mean, we can laugh about for the rest of our lives.
Repairs underway. Hold for go signal.
Now we are P9, unless they will stop again. I don't think so. It will be quite difficult to come out in P10 at least.
Go, go, go.
Good. Let's go back to my driving view. There is a bit of lag when you record games, so I need to switch between the real monitor and the secondary monitor that records via the Mac Studio I have purchased 2 years ago
Yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
to bring on the channel a bit more power while recording. Now the P10 is in front of us with Jan Lammers P11 and Lee Olofsson, sorry, Geoff Lees and Olofsson, maybe with the McLaren. Now we are very close to screw the race or do a winning gamble, because 16 laps in the tank are more or less 32 minutes of race. "35 minutes to go. We have to find the 3 minutes coasting, lifting, short shifting. While the day will approach, the sunset is arriving, the sunrise, sorry, is arriving very soon for the last leg of the night to be completed in a couple of minutes. Everything is stressed, obviously. "15 laps in the tank does mean more or less 30 minutes of coverage, 33 to go. It's just a personal opinion, but the beauty of running 24 hours, if not 12, and so on is something special, in my opinion. I mean, Formula 1 can fake to race by night with a complete set of lights, artificial lights around the track, but to me there's nothing like running by night. And for 2026 I do want to continue with SportsCar 100 minutes and complete as much as possible with all the tracks working for real.
Yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
If they work, they would be part of the theme. I think video games can really give you a lot of possibility to try to at least breathe. How was racing in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 50s? I'm sorry, because while I was talking there is Bushu Zonta, Ricardo Zonta with the Mercedes overlapping us somewhere. 12 laps in the tank, more or less is 24 minutes, 29 minutes to go. We will need a splash and go. Sorry, but my calculations were too optimistic. It will pass us very soon. So I stay where I cannot create an issue to myself. I have created an issue to myself. Thank you, Michele. I love you. Lost a lot of positions. Not this way, Marco, because the rear tires are completely cold.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Yellow flag in sector 2.
Maybe that's worth to rethink the strategy with the soft compound at the rear. And hard compound just at the front. Oh, who is with the Riley and Scott behind pushing so hard? Come on. They don't have the top speed, but they are much quicker braking and cornering. And this is a bad mistake. Down because I was controlling who was at the back. .22 minutes in the tank, 26 to go. Nothing we can do. At least now I can unleash all the power, consume what I need, because at least I try to lose less time on track. And I'm sorry because I've not noticed this behavior of rear tires. Now maybe I will discover with the last pit stop that the soft compound mounted on the rear end would have meant
Yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
to win the race. Christensen much quicker, maybe the best car for today to have. The BMW V12 naturally aspirated 6 liters was, don't remember, but engineered and designed by Williams. Now obviously with the last pit stop we will lose a bit less because we are not going to have a full... Oh, what happened? It's Christensen.
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
He literally took off. Okay, he is saved. He's safe, sorry, and saved the car actually. A bit less of top speed, he's closing because of a... Oh. Yes, definitely rear tires are not working anymore. Well, I did a bit of offline practice to prepare the car setup. I've never faced a thing like this one, and they say I've never faced a rear end behavior like this one with cold tires.
The yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Because during practice it was all okay. They were heating up without any problem, so maybe track conditions for today are different, or maybe the game took in consideration the fact that after a huge rainy qualifying session, maybe there isn't the same grip as before. My personal best 143 for sure is not the best I can aim. Here there's a crash,
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
a prototype and a GT. And obviously the later, now I'm pushing as much as I can because I don't need any more to last until the end of the race. Fuel will not be enough. But the later you stop,
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
the later you stop within an endurance race, the higher the possibility to lose less position despite stopping the usual timing to stop. Obviously it's not easily reproducible, the level of margin of a 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours race. when you run less. Less time, I mean. When you compress the real timing of racing, obviously becomes like a fake type of script, because after 24 hours more often than not you have something like laps of disadvantage or of advantage. So the same amount of pit stop of 1 minute, 2 minutes becomes less sensible to affect your final result, as well as for LMP2 and GT3. Snappy, almost lost. So within the same category becomes much more difficult to gain an advantage so high to have a sort of comfort zone, a pillow, a buffer so high to say I do a splash and go at the end and I win the race. And I was also thinking that I've been so stupid and so out of training that not only I'm starting to make mistakes because I'm insisting with broken tires. But I didn't face during offline practice rear end so cold regarding tires, because during offline practice I just used the soft compound. Stupid mark, that's why. Again, the Dodge Viper in between. So a race that could have been won now becomes 10 minutes to go, 6 laps, maybe if we go down to 7 laps should be enough. So we embark much less fuel and we can play with soft tires, front and rear. And then we will try to do, I don't know, qualifying laps. What a difficult day. We will pass by Tom Christensen, Patrese Suzuki, respectively BMW V12 and Nissan R390, Alboreto as well, I think, possible, and maybe also Van de Pole with the Cadillac, if not also Frank Bila with the Audi.
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
But we will give everything. I hope to entertain you for 9 minutes at full throttle without any more mistakes. Let's try 5 laps like in qualifying. Nothing to lose, and the more we will stay attached to the front runners, the better. .seconds compared, sorry, a bit of disadvantage with the front car positioned in P5 are not going down quickly enough to hope for a catch in 6 minutes.
Looks like there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
Stupid Nissan. Wow, they did break in front of us. 2 or 3 laps to go. P5, someone pitted. My old reference, Sun Oko. Fuel is the point for the 6th gear. As well here. Not this one. But taking advantage of all the 5th gear when you go slightly downhill. It's the place for the 6th gear, very long. You're maybe catching Bushout Zonta with the Mercedes, but I don't think I have enough time to do it properly. Personal best 41.8. With soft compound and the rear end is not anyway collaborating. still cold like ice. If I pass them, we can accomplish a P4. Unbelievable with this car. But just if the race doesn't finish now. Externally using a left car, not bad, because the race is finished. Brandel Müller, Nissan R391, Patrese Suzuki, Nissan R390 wall. With our classification, I do remember that the experiment of SportsCar 100 minutes gives 20, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1 points, regardless of the class. I'm just experimenting to then bring to your channels something maybe well fine-tuned for the next ideas I have about championship races and so on. And so, congratulations to Nissan that wins and scores also the second position, respectively, with Brandel Müller Taylor and Patrese Suzuki Van de Pole with the Nissan R390 model, Schneider Webber GT1 Mercedes CLK by 2 seconds and 6 tenths, as with the first LMP Courage C52 we finish P4, Bushu Zonta, the other Mercedes CLK, Tom Christensen with the BMW V12 P6, P7 Leto Soper with the first McLaren GT1 F1 GTR model, Eric Van de Pole, LMP1 Cadillac LMP00, Frank Bila and Michele Alboreto 9th and 10th with the Audi R8R. So from the previous classification that also dictated the BOP, the balance of presence, today we had 2 Nissans and one, for example, LMP1 BMW V12, because of the old classification that reduced by 1 or 2 units the number of cars available if the manufacturer is performing very well in the classification. Vice versa, gives more cars, like for 3 Courages today available, as and the 251 model, where are they? Yeah, retired at the beginning almost, or a pity. Ferraris, no Ferraris scored points, they were 3 today, and so on. So in this multi-class raced theme that gives point just to the first 10 regardless of the class, this is the new figure. So the next time who has more points will be reduced by 1 or 2 units with each model for the next appointment. Then when they will lose a bit the momentum or the advantage in points, they will be gifted back with more units, models usable, of the same model usable in the following race. So after 1 hour and 40 minutes, SportsCar 100 minutes, this is the final result. I hope you liked the Daytona racetrack, given that in a couple of days will happen the real Rolex 24 hours, but you have seen that you can stretch or enlarge whatever you like, keeping the 100 minutes, the 1 hour race, 2 hours race, whatever you like we did in the past with Around the World in 24 hours. From Daytona and from Monza, stay into keen racing. Thank you very much for voting the Courage C52, for passing here, for liking the video, for subscribing, for writing comments. Whatever you do is a gift to me, and stay very well and be safe and stay in love and in pure serenity also with your beloved. Then we will see the next time, sooner or later will happen. Obrigado, muchas gracias, merci beaucoup, thank you, danke schön, spasiba, arigato, and see you very, 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 very soon the next time. Best wishes to you all. Ciao, grazie, bye bye, thank you.